Hi guys, what's up? It's me, your girl. So if you've clicked on this video, you are desperate and are in need of help. Don't worry, I got you. So today, I decided to do something that it just came across my mind one day. I was just like, you know what? When I was in high school, I always wanted to die. And I always wanted to commit suicide. Even though that is not recommended, I'm just telling you guys the honest and truth of the whole matter of the situation. I honestly did want to die in high school. The school year is just starting, it is just beginning, everyone is having to go back and suffer, so might as well give a word of But as you can tell, this video is going great. Advice of wisdom, just because I feel like any tip videos that I've made on this channel thus far have gotten actually really good responses. So I'm either really good at giving advice or tips, or people are just really desperate and need somebody to help them. Either or, I appreciate you for watching me and I will help you because I love you. And this iced coffee that I made at home, actually it's not even iced coffee, bitch. It is cold brew. It's not really homemade though. Like, I went to Publix and bought cold brew and I just put cream and sugar, but still it's the fucking bomb, y'all. Cold brew, way better than iced coffee. If you work at Starbucks, you know what I mean. Or if you go to Starbucks every day, you know what I mean. I'll just state everything as it comes through my head. And I just hope overall it helps you guys with your school year or your high school experience. So without further ado, I really hope you guys think that this video is helpful, and let's just get started with this ish. The first thing that I automatically have to say when the school year starts is do make sure that you look poppin' on the very first day of school. Now, I know this is obvious. Everyone's just like, well, duh, bitch. Like, it's the first day of your fucking high school career. Obviously, you want to look cute as fuck. Yes, I understand, but some people don't get that. So I'm gonna just have to say it anyways. You want to look as hot as hell as you can. Like, when I'm saying hot as hell, you want to be booty poppin', bootylicious, Gucci as fuck, Instagram model, baddie slash hot ass guy slash let's go, I'm not making it just a female thing, hot as, fine ass, male, going down the street, got my shit together male. Okay, why I say this is because everyone in high school is judgmental assholes. Everyone will judge you. No one will think you're the shit if you don't show up on the first week as the shit. You're gonna just want to look as good as possible just because your whole high school kind of reputation will be based on more or less of what you do dress as and what you do look as. Like, I know that sounds wrong and I know that sounds completely conceited, and some of you can argue with me and say that is not true, but if you really think about it, if you really like sit down and think about the fact that how many people in high school just love someone for their personality. Just take a minute. Just take a minute and think about that, because if you really think about it, everyone in high school is more or less of an asshole, and you're at that stage where you just want to fit in with the coolest looking people. So I mean, I had that mindset that people thought that I would just, like, you know, people would love me for my personality, but, you know, clearly that didn't work out because I don't have any friends, but...
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I don't want to look as poppin' as ever on the first week of school. That's just stated. It will definitely help you get people to talk to you, and it will help you start lifelong friends. The thing that I have to say automatically is the very first day of school, this is what I want you guys to do. And I really wish that I thought of this, but I didn't. So I'm telling you guys this right now. Make it a goal that you make a friend at least in one of your classes. In my high school, there were 7 classes. Thankfully, I didn't have to go to 7 classes for the whole day. We basically did block periods, I guess you can say. So we did A days and B days. And so A days would be periods 1, 3, 5, and 7. And B days would be periods 1, 2, 4, 6, and was just always like that. And first period would just be a class that you'd have every single day. It became a little easier to deal with life in a sense that way, just because you don't have to deal with like 7 teachers every single day. But you are just going to want to make a friend in each class. So the reason why I say this is just because it definitely does help and make things a lot easier. You weren't there because you were sick, or just something happened and you just need somebody to back you up for that class. That is why I recommend you make at least one friend in every single class period. Because if, let's say, you have this teacher, don't know what the fuck's going on, you're gonna fail if you don't like have somebody and be like, oh my god, bitch, like, what are we doing in class? So yeah, do that. And I highly recommend, if you guys are risky enough, if you guys are manageable enough, make more than one friend in each class. Because I feel as if you have more friends in one class period, it just gets easier, you know? You don't have to just rely on one person. What if that one person has something happen and they drop their phone, can't contact you, got fucked up? Try your very best to make friends in each and every single class period. It'll definitely help, and I'm telling you, you guys can do it. Just have faith in yourself. The next thing that I have to say is regarding to the friend thing. If you guys have anxiety, because I know a lot of kids have anxiety, they can't talk, they can't speak, they can't say a single word without freaking out. This is what I want you to do. The night before you go to school, make sure you have a routine of what you will say to people. Be like, hey, what's up? Like, I know it was really awkward for me just because I didn't know how to approach people. I didn't know how to really start up a conversation without making it seem really awkward. So I know this might sound cliche as fuck, but it might actually work. If you just go in front of a mirror and just practice like talking, saying things like, what are some good topics you guys could talk about? Maybe like, you know, let's say you guys are both tired, you could bring up like, oh my god, I'm so tired, like blah blah blah, I didn't have enough sleep. And then the next person next to you, like that you're talking to, would be like, yeah, I agree, I didn't da 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 da. And from there you guys can have a conversation. If you know you have anxiety, just work on your social skills before school starts, just because you don't want to go to school the first day and get mad at yourself because you don't know how to really put yourself out there. And that's another thing. If you want to have a good high school life, if you want to have a good high school anything, you have to put yourself out there. That's like one thing that I really wish that I did. Can't expect people to come to you. You kind of have to like push yourself out there. Yes, you might encounter some few people that are going to approach you and want to be a friend, but for the most part, everyone in high school is just in their head. And nobody is really going to go up to you and try to be your friend unless you do it. So that's just one of the things that I have to tell you guys. Oh fuck, this is so good. Y'all, honestly, if you want, take a piece of paper and write this ish down. I really hope what I'm saying is helping. Let me know if it does help, because I don't want to keep rambling on, and if like I don't make any sense. Yeah. Another thing that I have to say is, guys, I'm just letting you know this from right now. In high school, you are going to find people who will be your friends and then they will betray you. What I mean by that is little story time. This is the best example that I can give for you guys, and I'm gonna try to condense it down. And you know what? I am kind of throwing shade. I'm gonna be sipping my cold brew and throwing some shade at this girl that I'm about to tell the story of, because she really did fuck me up. Kind of one of the reasons why it was so hard for me to keep making friends. So basically in 9th grade, I was kind of a very antisocial, shy girl. When you are in middle school, elementary school, like you're just so used to how things are. So when you're just going to a high school, when you have to deal with like older people who are almost adults, and it's just really scary when you're this tiny and you're also socializing with people who are about to start their lives. Like, it's really weird. So I was always shy and awkward and quiet. In my math class, I met this girl, let's just call her Sandra. So I met this girl Sandra in my math class, and she was from California. She had just moved down here. It was like the first week of school, so I was like fortunate enough to have her as a friend. She kind of was really awesome and sweet. She was so funny. She was always like, she was probably one of the nicest people I've met thus far in 9th grade. And you know, she was from California, she didn't have any friends, and she was really glad that I talked to her, and we just started a friendship. Little did I know that this girl was filthy rich. Her house was amazing. She lived with her grandparents, but they were like super fancy and rich, and it was kind of weird because I never really had a friend that was that high class. And basically, let's just say, okay, so they, like, I'm not gonna really give away where I live, but basically, I live a lot near the oceans. Let's just say, so there's like a toll bridge that takes you to another side of town, and it's basically where all of these houses like live right on the beach. So basically she was like living where there was like this fancy giant ass hotel for like the secluded area of the beach, and there was like all of these homes that were like alongside the beach, and it was just very gated, very fancy as shit. So that's what, like, I guess you guys can see what I'm talking about, like, visual wise. Her grandparents were so happy that she had a friend, because like she had no friends. She had just came from California. She had no friends in Florida. She like was starting fresh and new, and she just, her grandparents were so happy that I was around, and it was just so nice. Like, she was the sweetest girl ever. Me and Sandra, we would play Xbox. Like, she had a king-size bed in her room. Her grandma would always bring us cookies, and she'd make them, and she'd make us breakfast, and it was just the weirdest thing because she was so filthy rich. She had a Canon camera, like those big ass ones, and she would like take videos with me, and we would take pictures, and we would go to the movies, and she had like a special card that we could go to the secluded hotel on the beach, and she would get like free unlimited shit off the bar. Like, we could get burgers, and she'd just give them the card, and she'd have to not pay a single cent. Like, it was mind-boggling to me how crazy rich this girl was. We're good friends. My parents really liked her, and I just overall was so happy that I had a friend like her. So fast forward to, you know, I guess you can say more weeks passed on, or more months passed by, and basically I started noticing that Sandra was getting a little bit distant from me. She wasn't really asking me to hang out as much anymore. She wasn't really talking to me as much in math class. I'd show up and she wouldn't really say hi to me anymore. She was talking to these girls instead, and they'd always crack jokes, and these two girls, they weren't the nicest people. They'd always kind of bully me in a sense, just because I remembered one time in math class I went to the bathroom, and then I came back and they hid my bag. Like, they basically took all of my stuff and they put it somewhere, and they wouldn't tell me where, and they'd just laugh and giggle. And then one second, sorry about that, guys. Somebody was at my door and my dog started freaking out. I was like, oh shit. And I was just so awkward as fuck. Is it just me? But whenever somebody is at the front door, I'm just so hesitant to like open it. I just feel like I'm gonna get kidnapped, and I just rather just peek from the shadows, be like, who this bitch? Continuing on with my story of me and Sandra, and I'm sorry if it's a long story. I just hope you guys enjoy it. I didn't know, I talk a lot, so I'm sorry. Sandra started being friends with these girls that were overall just mean to me, and they would always hide my shit, and they wouldn't tell me. And I remembered that the bell rang and it was time for me to go home, and it just sucked because it was the last period of the day and I took the bus. So if I was late to getting to my bus stop, then I'd get basically left at school, and then I would have to ask my parents to take me home, and it was just gonna be like a really rough situation. Freaking out because everybody's leaving the room. These girls, they didn't tell me where my bag and my stuff was, and I was just really upset. Like, I remembered I almost started crying because I didn't understand, what did I do that was so wrong for them to think it was so funny to like hide my stuff. I feel like Sandra probably had a heart, and then she kind of like told me where my stuff was, but she wasn't really the friendly Sandra that I knew. She just kind of just was like giggling, kind of making snarky comments at me, and was just like, check over there or something. So I remembered I went to go check this cabinet that was in the room, and all of my stuff was there. All of my papers and my binders, everything fell all over the floor, and I had to like pick it all up, and it was just such a sad and horrible day. I just remembered feeling really betrayed. I really talked to my parents, and I didn't tell them anything, but it really hurt my feelings that Sandra did that. Continuing on, Sandra just started being more distant and distant with me, and she wouldn't really talk to me. And these girls that were mean to me, they'd always just talk with her, and they'd all be snarky and funny with each other. They'd exclude me from situations, and it was just not really fun. And I remembered, like, they'd always find ways to make me feel stupid and dumb and worthless. And because I was just so into my stuff, I wouldn't say that I was the best person in math, but I definitely did try really hard. So whenever Sandra and the girls would be laughing and making snarky jokes and they wouldn't be paying attention, guess who'd they ask for help when they didn't understand something? Me. I was stupid, and I was just, I wouldn't say I was stupid, but I'm nice to the degree that I was always going to help whether the situation was bad or good. So I guess the moral of the story is that me and Sandra, we just honestly stopped being friends. There was no words spoken to each other. She never said why she stopped being my friend. She never really said anything more of it, and I just took it as she kind of got bored of me and just decided to find some other friends instead. The point of me saying that story with me and Sandra is you're gonna find people like that in high school. People are going to be friends with you 1 minute, and they're gonna stop being friends with you a second later. Sometimes they won't even say 2 words with you. They won't even say why. They just literally cut you off, and you just have to deal with it. And I guess that's one of the harshest things about high school. It's like 1 minute somebody is your friend, and the next they don't want anything to do with you, and they don't even say why. So I just want you guys to be prepared for that, just because I know that it really fucked me up a lot in high school, because it didn't just happen with me and Sandra. It happened in multiple occasions, and there would never be any explanation as to why they just decided to stop being my friend. And that is how it is. Like, even as you grow up, I'm an adult kind of now. Like, I'm 20, but I still don't feel like a fucking adult. I still feel like a fucking little tweeny girl. It's just kind of unfortunate, and it is what it is, but I'm just letting you guys know that that's basically a huge part of high school. Mental health is something that I am very big on, and I always refrain from making videos talking about mental health just because I feel like no one really cares about what I say. There's so many more big influencers, I feel like, on YouTube, and I have like almost nothing really, so I just feel like me speaking on anything on here just doesn't. But anyways, that's not the case. I'm just gonna give a little piece of information for you guys. I was very depressed. I was very suicidal. I did not really. Instances like Sandra and just so many more things that happened to me in high school just made me feel so isolated, so unwanted. People just have such a dark and twisted way in high school to make you feel like you don't matter. Feel so inspired and good about yourself, and the next you just feel like no one cares because you thought you had these friends by your side. You thought that you had these people that really cared about you, but they never did. They just wanted the status quo. They just wanted the popularity stats. They just wanted to be known because of something that you did. Mental health just plays a big part in high school, so I just want to let you guys know that in high school, I want you guys to be as happy as fuck as you possibly can be. Just now starting to realize that this is what I have to do for myself. Recently, I'm sorry to say this, and this might be harsh as fuck, but in high school, no one is going to want to be friends with someone who's very depressed all the time. And I hope you guys aren't getting sensitive right now or feel like attacked. I felt attacked, but you know what? I had somebody tell me that if I wanted to have a great life, if I wanted to have a lot of people in my life, that friends, you know, I wanted to live life the fullest that I can live it. I can't live life being depressed, because no one's gonna want to be with someone who's constantly depressed and sad and down. And it's okay to feel those things, But I want you guys to know that with those things comes consequences. If you think about it, from an outside perspective, if you see somebody that's depressed, mad, moody, doesn't want anything to do with life, gets mad and irritated, lashes out at anything or anyone who tries to talk to them, how many friends are you really going to make, and how many experiences are you going to be able to gain with that quality? Everyone's going to be afraid to be around you. Everyone's going to be kind of scared to see what kind of person you are, even though that's not really who you are, but that is what people will perceive you as, and people are not going to really want to be around that. They're going to be scared because they don't want to make you madder. They don't want to make you sad. They don't, you know what I mean? So that is something that I'm starting to figure out to this moment of my life, that as sad as you may be, as sad as things may get, you have to stay positive and you have to stay strong for yourself and for what you want. Always going to be up and down, always up and down, up and down, and up and down. But you need to find a ground. You need to find things that make you happy with other things that don't require people. I'm living great. Like, as of now, I feel great. I'm happy. I feel like I have so much to offer life, and yes, there's things that happen to me that are bad. Yesterday I had the worst day ever, but I'm not gonna let it affect me because those are just small things. You guys to take that piece of advice with you through high school. I'm not saying you have to be happy and positive all the time. Yes, it's tiring, and I don't want you to, like, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to put on this facade that you're just so happy about life. But I do want you to take that in mind, that if you do want things to happen a certain way, you have to act a certain way. And it's just, that's the big thing about it. Because in high school, I was so depressed and sad and miserable because these people would bring me down, and I'd let them bring me down. And then that in terms like made me not really be able to make more friends. In turns, that would make me more enclosed and isolated. That would never really help my case. And I just want you guys to have that peace of mindset that, like, you gotta be positive for yourself. In high school, people are so miserable, so depressed, so dark. Yes, I know that they're infectious and they're horrible and they have a way of making you feel the same thing, but you can't let that. You got to just do you, and I guess you can say just live life. Just live your best life. Live your best life. I don't want this video to be too long. I'm so sorry if it is. In high school, you guys are going to not really know what you want to do. And that's okay. But the things that you do want to do, go for it. Like, do extracurricular activities, do more clubs, do stuff that you feel like will keep you busy, that will benefit you. I definitely know that I did some clubs and stuff, and it definitely did make high school more enjoyable. So that's one thing that I'd suggest for you guys to do, just to go and do clubs, do extracurricular activities, and just, you'll make more friends out of that. Do things that you like. Do things that you like. I loved music, so I did chorus. I did stuff related to music, but just don't do anything that will not benefit your happiness. You're gonna figure out exactly what you want to do out of life, and even if you didn't, like, even if you don't know what you want to do out of life, it's okay. For me, at least, I have more or less of an idea what I want to do with my life, but there's just so many things that can happen that can totally alter that. So you just never really know, and it's okay. The most important thing that I want you guys to know is that it is okay to not know what the fuck you are doing. I said everything that I needed to say about how to survive high school, my tips, and I just honestly hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Really want you guys to experience life as it is, not to let people get you so down. If someone does you dirty, don't be afraid to confront them about it. Like with the situation with me and Sandra, I kind of wish that I went up to her and was like, hey, what happened? Why are you not talking to me anymore? But it's like, I was so, I don't know really what was I thinking, but I just really felt like, oh, well, if she is going to easily not be my friend anymore like that, why should I bother asking her what happened? if she really just threw me away that easy. But part of me is always gonna wonder why. You know what I mean? Because I never got that closure. I never understood what made her just suddenly stop talking to me. My mom, like, this is how fucked up it was. When I told my mom that me and Sandra weren't friends anymore because she did this and this, and I was like heartbroken still, like I was crying for days. And my mom thought that I did some shit for her to start acting like that to me. And that was like the most fucked up thing ever. Because it's like, can you imagine your own parent basically thinking that you did some shit to end a friendship instead of thinking that maybe it was the other person? Maybe the other person did some fuck shit. Like, I never told her what the fuck she did to me. And yet my mom is still gonna take her side like, bitch, what the fuck? I am your child. But whatever, it's the past. I'm not there anymore. I really love you guys so much. Let me know if you guys want me to do more videos like this. Just school related or just in general, like me giving advice about certain things. If you guys want me to give you advice on a certain topic or whatever, leave it in the description, bitch. Comments below. Make sure to leave a big old thumbs up if this video did help me. Big old thumbs up if this video helped you and you are actually gonna use this video for your lifestyle video. High school, fucking let's get this shit going. I'm not about to be, I don't fucking know. I think it's the fucking coffee. What the fuck? I feel like I could do everything and anything today. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and I love you guys so much. And yeah, can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye, I love you.